Hi once again. Same day, same morning. Still no sunshine, but not to worry. This time I've got a electric clock. As far as I know, it's from the continent of Europe. Rather interesting. I've taken it out of its case. It was in, I would say, a homemade case. I didn't make it, but it was neatly made. And the reason I had to take it out was there was the inside had a spider's web or something inside of it, and it was preventing it from actually going. It wouldn't even start. But having it out, it gives me a chance to go through the bits and try and explain where I can how it works. Well, it's not powered up at this stage. And notice, I hope I can keep this in view, you've got your mains coil, this part here, the coil, and connected to the main supply. Also, it's got soft iron core. It's laminated. The one on that, it's the same core, but it goes to both sides. Now, I think it's in view still. I had a job to make sure it's still in view while I'm looking at it. This extends the magnetic field to the stator, I think they would call that. And that's this part here that you would see moving when I do that. It moves around. Looking at it more closely, I'm trying to show it to the camera rather than to me. Let's see if it shows. It's got the edges are serrated, as are the edges of the poles. Let's see what happens when we put some juice on. Right, plugged it in, hasn't gone bang, so we're all right. Well, I say it's mains voltage, so obviously sensible precautions must be taken. 230 volts could, in theory, kill you stone dead, so be very careful. I tend to like to just use one hand when I'm tinkering about with stuff, but in this case I have to use both. Then the live parts are obviously there, and they go to the coil. The rest of it, in theory, should be okay. Now, what's happened? We've energised the coil, but nothing is happening yet, which is normal. You've got on there an adjuster or a starter which flicks over. If I can show it on the thing, it's difficult trying to show it at the same time. Is that going? No, that's not going yet. There we are, it's going now. You have to actually physically start it. It's not a self-starter. A lot of the modern ones are obviously self-starting, and by flicking it in one direction, it'll only start in one direction. It's probably possible that it would go the other way round, but you don't want it to go backwards, you just want it to go forwards. So that type of starter will only mean that it goes forward. I don't know who it's made by. There is a number on there, K002830. There's no indication of who it's made by, where it's made. I would think it's possibly German, but I may be wrong. Turn him over, making sure I don't touch the live parts. In fact, better still, I'm going to pull the plug out. I mean, I'm just as likely to touch the blooming thing. Right, take the plug out. What can I say? It is slightly different in as much as it displays the date, excuse me, the day of the month and the actual day itself. And as you can see, it's in a foreign language, certainly not in English. And I don't think that part is working, because there is a control adjuster at the top which doesn't seem to do anything. And anyhow, if it did, you couldn't get into it. There's no way you could do that once that is mounted in the homemade arrangement. It is homemade, the arrangement. It's well done. You've got your glass and the little grommet, the rim round it. That has been glued in by, it looks like a bit of araldite. It's done the job. But there's no way, once that's in, you would be able to get to this part. So I'm pretty sure you can't change it. It's a pity, but there we are. We can't have everything. When we pick these things up at boot sales and that, there's normally a reason they're there. Someone's had it, it's not working properly. But I would say that someone spent quite a bit of time making a nice wooden case for it to go into. The back of it, which I can show you, the mains lead goes through it. No indication of who it's made by or anything. The only thing I can say, there's a name which I don't know whether you'll be able to see it. It looks like it says on the top here, just under my thumb or under my finger, it looks like either NELA or VLIA or NA. I'm having a job to read that. It's very, very faint. I'll bring it up closer. If anyone's got any ideas, I'd love to know. No, I don't know if you can see that, but that's put as much light on as I can. Anyhow, that's more or less explained it. You can see in there, it's beautifully made. You've got your, as I say, the stator part, stator, what goes round. You've got various wheels, cogs, and it is well made. It's made out of what I call good old brass. The modern ones have got either neoprene or plastic. They are not very nice, but the old ones were good, and they tended to run fairly silent. A lot of these clocks, the newer ones, when they get to an age, they just make an awful noise. They make like a grinding noise. You can hear them, and there's no way of overcoming it. You can put a bit of oil on, but it doesn't do any good. But these old ones were good, and they were worth keeping. I've got one or two of the old ones. It's just a case of finding them. They're somewhere in the loft. It's a good place to keep stuff. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Any questions, please ask. You can see behind the arrangement for the changing of the dates and that, it's all done behind these plates. Can I show it better? Yeah, there's plates there. Right behind there is the mechanisms that alter the actual dates and that. So it's possible that if this clock is put on, it would move the dates and that. It might even be that you can alter it by changing the time by twiddling it round. I will try that, but I haven't really worried. I've just kept it as a curio. So I see no reason why it shouldn't work. But as I say, with that lever being made unoperative, it makes you think. Anyhow, once again, thanks for watching. Any comments, any information, someone might know the make of this. As I say, I think it's either German or Dutch. It's certainly continental. I'm looking at that name again. I can't really make it out, which is a pity because I'm having a hard job seeing what it says. But there is a name there, it's very, very faint. Anyhow, once again, thanks for looking. Subscribe please. Any questions asked and I'll get back to you. Thanks again. Thank you.